Hey, Uncle Buck. Hey, Bambi. I did pretty well. Hey, Rebecca. I did reasonably well. Is Catherine here? Legendary Canadian comedian and actress. She was the mom in Home Alone. You ever watched Home Alone? She was the mom in that. She was also the mom in Beetlejuice. She was in SCTV. She was in Schitt's Creek. Hi, Missy. She was in kind of a lot of stuff. She was she was in a lot of stuff, and she was one of those actresses who was just always good. You know? Yeah, she was just really, really good. Hi, Sandra. Yes, my hoodie did also arrive. I was actually really tempted. I'll open it up in a few minutes. I'll open it up in a few more minutes. I was actually really tempted to open it up before the stream and let's have it on when the stream came on. I did consider would it be funny if I was already wearing it when people got here? Hi, pause. But then I was like, no, people would be disappointed in not being able to watch me open it. I hope you people appreciate my restraint. Also, thank you, Bambi, for being the only person who apparently being the only person who actually looks at the descriptions of my lives. People are still saying you have a secret love. I make no secret of my love for your mom. To be fair, you're looking for info on Catherine O'Hara. Oh. Well, never mind my thanks. Love to read Beetlejuice. Six a sculpture of Beetlejuice and Space and then he likes it. Yeah. Dixie love it, it's rice. I also make no love of my no secret of my love of rice. Hey, Ozzy. I didn't actually see the cause of death. I'm gonna guess ghost related. Brief illness. Yeah, I'm guessing ghost related because she was in Beetlejuice and that one was all about ghosts. Anyway, it says died. Wikipedia just says died following a brief illness. Oh, that's right. She was also Sally in The Nightmare Before Christmas. People loved Nightmare Before Christmas, right? She was Sally in Night Before Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas. She was also apparently in the that 1990 Dick Tracy movie, which I really need to rewatch. I haven't watched it since I was like 6. So yeah, Delia in Beetlejuice, Kate McAllister in Home Alone, the mom in Home Alone, Sally in The Nightmare Before Christmas. She was in Best in Show, Orange County. She was in Orange County. That was a pretty popular movie. Justice Strauss in Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Marilyn Heck in For Your Consideration. Judith in Where the Wild Things Are. Few voices in Frankenweenie. Oh shit, when Marnie was there. She voiced Old Marnie in When Marnie Was There. Nice. Grandma Frump in the 2019 Addams Family. I know what guy's name. Brooke Ripple in Elemental. SCTV, of course. She was in SCTV, one of the main cast. Several seasons of that. Tim Curry. Oh. She did a couple episodes of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Apparently she did 3 episodes of Whose Line Is It Anyway, which that must have been really good. Schitt's Creek. Huh. She was in The Last of Us, the Last of Us TV series. Gail Linden in The Last of Us TV show. Joel's therapist. Interesting. Open. Rebecca? Huh? What, Rebecca? They were looking for Kevin. He worked the front desk and she slapped him in the face with her glove. And you know what? It was his honor. It was Tim Curry's honor to be slapped in the face by Catherine O'Hara. Even though I think his career actually started before hers did, but I was just saying that, Kimberly. Yeah, she played Joel's therapist on the Last of Us TV show, which I was unaware of because I never watched that show. Yeah, I mean, she did a lot of stuff. She had a good career. John Candy was even in that movie. Two of them were friends, Catherine O'Hara and John Candy. They sort of came up together in SCTV. Yeah, Catherine O'Hara is another of those actors, much like Tim Curry, actually. Catherine O'Hara is one of those actors who did just like who committed to roles. Like even if it's even her comedy, like even if it's like a small comedy role, she she gave the role depth. She was exceptional. Open, open, open. What do you? I don't know what you mean by that, Rebecca. Oh, the package. What? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Right, the hoodie. Right, right, right. Uh, I was gonna wait for Buttercup to show up, but might be that she's sleeping again. Should I wait to see if should I give it a few more minutes to wait for Buttercup to see if Buttercup shows up, or should I just go ahead and open it now? What's everybody think? Wait a few more minutes for Buttercup, or do it now? Buttercup, there you are. So as it happens, we're doing it both ways. Turns out the answer was both. Wait for Buttercup and do it now. About goddamn time. Oh, that's like it. Thinking that's going to the garage tomorrow. Not even on a jumper. This doesn't click the video here. Should we wait for Buttercup? I don't know about putting it on right now, to be honest. Because it feels pretty cold. It was sitting out in the like it was sitting out on the porch for the whole day. Yeah, actually, inside's not too bad. The inside of it. Whee! And back visible here. I got a little heart over here and sort of beach thing over here. Looks good on me. Like I said, I don't know how much I'll wear it. I have no idea what this is supposed to be on the sleeve. It looks like an egg. Or like maybe I mean, it's supposed to be like a flower. I think it's supposed to be some sort of flower, maybe. And a white bit. Hey, Marky. Yeah. Catherine O'Hara did, unfortunately, just today. Pedal on your elbow. Oh, pedal, yeah. I thought I saw something, but then I was like looking around. I was like, I don't see anything. Yeah, it's just like a little flower petal. What do you mean further up here? Probably another flower petal up here. Makes you look thinner. Being rude. SCTV in the 80s. I think 70s, actually. I think SCTV was like a 70s show. Is that if I'm correct? Yeah. Between 1976 and 1984. Okay. So yeah, it ran 1976 to 1984, which is weird. Like, I grew up on that one. Hey, Thomas. It ended before I was born, and yet I still grew up on it. Just syndication. Because I'm Canadian. Because what it is, I'm Canadian. And here in Canada, a certain amount Canadian TV channels are required to show a certain amount of Canadian content. Easiest way to do that is to just show reruns of old shows. Larry's House of Frankenstein. I don't. So yeah, SCTV just ran in syndication forever. Probably still gets. I'd imagine it's still used on Comedy Network. I can imagine Comedy Network still shows SCTV. Probably one episode a day. Freaks out now and tells the hoodie is actually black. No. No, the hoodie is a light green color. Like a sea green. I think is sort of what they're going for, is like a sea green. Looks gray on your screen. Looks gray. That looks gray. Nope. Not like I said. It's I think the purpose is like a sea green. It's like it's a light shade of green. Canadian TV is a historical thing. Catching light blue. Not blue now. Hi, Shirley. I also have my schedule for next week. Where'd you get it from? Makeship. I think I still got the tag on here somewhere. I think the way Makeship works, basically they, however many people pre-order it, that's how many copies, that's how many they get made. You look warm? Yeah, a little bit too warm. I'm taking it off now. T-shirt came off with it. Too warm. Anyway, yeah, so I've got my schedule for next week. So there's at least 2 days that I will not be coming live. Tuesday, I'm going to be working 2:30 to 10:30. So I don't think I'll be coming live that day. Wednesday, I'm 11 to 7, so I might go. So I'll probably go live that day. It'll depend how I feel, but I'll try to go live Wednesday. Friday, which is my birthday, fucking 5 to midnight. So I will not be coming live on my birthday. Yeah, that's just perfect. That's exactly the kind of shift you want on your goddamn birthday. 5 to midnight. Ugh. Yeah, I suppose the next day, the Saturday would normally be a game stream. This Saturday is going to depend on whether I go for supper with my mom or not. So yeah, basically most of next week. Um, I'll be on income. I'll be inbound for that shift. So it'll be people calling into us. Luckily, I will be inbound at least, which means it'll should be probably pretty quiet, especially after 9 o'clock. Stream during and mute yourself. You get a call? No, absolutely not doing that, Buttercup. What? A lot of reasons. No, I'm not going to stream while I'm working. That's just asking for trouble. So I'm just knocking. Don't think so. Didn't really. Even so, it's just like that's just asking for something to get fucked up. I'm just too damn professional to do that. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Cass. Raise your hand if you're rushed out to see the Millennium movie. Shit. One joke I saw is that if they played the Melania movie on an airplane, people would still walk out. Hey, Audrey. Also, jokes about people hiding in the empty Melania theaters because nobody's going to look in there. Deli counter potato wedges today. Nice. Love me some deli counter potato wedges, as you know. Tumbleweeds. I mean, I said hello. Oh, you mean the movie theater? Nah, even the tumbleweeds don't want to go see it. Even the tumbleweeds are like, can you bring cats back? I'd rather haunt that theater. I'd rather haunt that movie. Big oof. Confession? I kind of enjoyed Cats, the movie. You like a few Nickelback songs? Get Out. I'm kidding. Wild thing about Nickelback, they're the biggest. Nickelback is probably the most popular band that nobody will admit to liking. Like, they are the biggest band that doesn't have vocal fans. You know, like, there's a show that Chantel and I used to watch, based out of Toronto. Is a talk show, basically. Comedic talk show. One of the hosts actually is a Nickelback fan. And the other one was not. Corner Gas? No. I think it was MTV. I think it was called MTV Live, actually. Might be wrong, but I feel like it was called MTV Live. But anyway, so this woman did a bit where she went out onto the streets of Toronto, downtown Toronto, during lunch hour, and tried to find Nickelback fans. And like over like an hour, she got like one person who admitted that they like Nickelback. Yeah, it was MTV Live. Is because MTV Canada. So MTV had like there's MTV Canada, and MTV Live was on that, and that was hosted by Darren Jones and Nicole Holness, along with Paul Lemieux and Sheena Snively. So they still got all this stuff. Right. Very popular band. They sell millions of albums. And nobody wants to admit to buying them. Put a popular Nickelback song and check their views. Didn't know that too. Oh yeah, very Canadian, very definitely a very Canadian band. I mean, they are lead singer was married to Avril Lavigne, Canadian. Because Chad Kroger was married to Avril Lavigne for a while. I think. Or dated. Married or dated? Married. Only for a couple of years. Don't know Jack. Jack all about celebrities still new to me. I don't really care much about celebrities either. It's just like being Canadian. You're damn right we hear about that shit. retain information very well. Is that expected to remember? I mean, I retain some information. I retain things that, yeah. I don't retain any information that's fucking useful. And again, pretty sure I said Avril. And again, like, Nickelback, because they're Canadian, are pretty huge here. And Avril Lavigne, again, as a Canadian, huge here in Canada. Massive here in Canada. So Chad Kroeger and Avril Lavigne getting married, that was genuinely a huge deal up here, which got a lot of mockery as well. You're going to kick my ass if I'm going to nail all the TNG ones. A skill I don't have, and I wish I did. So I keep tons of notes. I mean, one of the TNG ones was what year was first contact? Did first contact occur? Good memory for smell, sound, and visual cues. Yes, like what year did first contact occur? I was like, I don't fucking remember. I do not remember that. It was April 4th, 2063. So I keep tons of notes. You should see how many clipboard I have running at one time. Yeah, April 4th, 2063 is first contact day. Wonder if he'll still be alive. I mean, it's less than 40 years from now, so I'll probably be dead. Anyway, I don't remember what I got on the quiz. I think I got like 2/3. Do a special stream on that day. Save it in your calendar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I got like 2/3 of the questions correct. And then there was also one that was like, can you name the voice? Like, you know, can you name who voiced this line or these lines? Like, you know, recognize voice. And those I was able to. Those I nailed completely. I did that one because I wanted to, like, I was sort of embarrassed. I said 9 wrong, but I counted 8. Okay. Yeah, I was sort of annoyed at how many I got wrong. So I was like, I need an easy one. I need an easy one, god damn it. So name the voice. Hilariously, complete reverse happened with X-Men trivia. I got super annoyed at how easy the first quiz was, so then I had to look up something tougher. It had to be a fucking BuzzFeed quiz. You did take glasses before Pocket Watch? Yeah, I said glasses, but I was like, or Pocket Watch, and then I settled on Pocket Watch. Like, my first instinct was glasses, but then I did settle on Pocket Watch. Just stupid. I knew it was glasses. Gonna get water. Be back in a minute. You said on glasses, don't make me go back. Ah, okay. Hi, Shelly. For the, we'll say for the, when I did that X-Men, it hasn't gone up yet, but for the X-Men trivia quiz, I was getting annoyed about it because it's like, what mutant controls metal? Fuck you. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, I was so annoyed that I started talking about, like, Cable and Rachel and trying to figure out, I was trying to figure out the exact nature of, like, how they're related. Because, like, I was like, half sister? Sorry, maybe? 3/4? Wait. Like, I was trying to decide if, I was trying to figure out if Cable and Rachel are half siblings, 3/4 siblings, 1/4 siblings, like, I don't know how, but here's the thing, Catherine. Genetically, but, like, even then, are they? Because Cable is the son. Cable is the son of Scott Summers and Madeline Pryor. Right? Cable is the son of Scott Summers and Madeline Pryor. Rachel is the daughter of Jean Grey and the Phoenix. Possibly, like, or at least that was Claremont's intention, at least. But then Madeline Pryor is a genetic copy of Jean Grey. And Rachel does technically have Scott's genes. See, she is technically, like, genetically the daughter of Scott. It's a complicated family. It's just a very, very complicated family. It's an I'm my own grandpa type of situation type of deal. Not, no. That's Longshot and Shatterstar. Longshot and Shatterstar get more into the my own father sort of. No, it's just clones and alternate timelines. Clones, alternate timelines, and cosmic forces. Oh my. It gets weird. Nathan. To be fair, one of them does go by Nate, Catherine. One of them does prefer to go by Nate. You sweet boy doesn't like you, Frame. Nope. Instead, he had a really weirdly uncomfortable relationship with a psionically recreated clone of his mother. So his relationship with Madeline Pryor was so fucking weird. Hey, Mike. So goddamn weird. Because it felt there was like weird like sexual tension. They never did actually like they never were actually shown kissing on panel. Like it's you know nothing to suggest it actually did like that the relationship did actually become sexual or romantic. Yeah, nothing to suggest that they actually did become either sexual or romantic. But there was that weird like it just felt like there was sexual tension there in a really weird way because like that's that's your mom's clone. That's basically your aunt right there. It was fucking weird. Like people have spent the past nearly 30 years. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe over 30 years. Yeah, people have spent the past 30 years thinking Nate and Madeline had an incestuous relationship. So I'm not even dead, and this bullshit about me being a human has to stop. There are times I don't really want to be a human. Anyways. The important thing is, I'm not totally sure when, what days I'll be live next week. I'm not totally sure how next week's gonna go in terms of my streaming schedule. Tuesday and Friday, definitely not. Wednesday, maybe. Hopefully. Saturday, I have no goddamn idea. Saturday, I have to come live for at least an hour, so within which we have belated birthday. We'll see. It's going to depend on, like, what days I spend with, what day I spend with my mom. Just saw a comment. Can't believe they released the Epstein files to cover up for the Melania movie. And or the weather will be factored in. Section theater. Apparently, no theater in Philadelphia is playing it. Not a single theater in Philadelphia agreed to play that Melania's movie. Beer can charcoal chicken gonna get cooked up today. That sounds pretty good. Guess where the can goes? Up the chicken's ass. Asking someone if they want to take out their wallet and burn $40. Gonna be a Proud Boys. No, it's not even that. They're not gonna go. They're not gonna go watch it. The Proud Boys aren't gonna go watch that piece of shit. They don't give a shit. No, I mean, there's a reason that like no city has any like pre-booked tickets. Yeah, I mean, they don't care either. That new that Melania thing. The one that Brett Ratner directed in order to get in good with conservatives. Because his career got pretty thoroughly wrecked when a whole bunch of allegations against him went public, and people just or more when people decided that the allegations were bad. Brett Ratner's career went down the shitter when people decided to actually pay attention to allegations for a brief while. Can't see the Chicagoland area playing it. Southern Illinois is a whole other area, whole other story. I will say the thing I find funniest about the lack of ticket sales for Melania's movie. They didn't just buy the tickets themselves? Like, it's the cheapness. It's just the pure cheapness of that whole family. Like yeah, they could have been, you know, they could have picked a bunch of major cities and sort of bought reserve tickets, bought a bunch of reserve tickets. And then, offer to give tickets out for free to people. Madison got drunk last night, tiny stature with tiny stomach, and she's sleeping next to me. Aw, catering by McDonald's, yeah. Not just because Trump has no idea what class is. Or what fucking quality is. You're gonna... Okay. I always liked McDonald's. But if I was fucking rich, do you think I would ever fucking eat McDonald's? Gods no. It's terrible food. It's not even one of the best fast food places. I like McDonald's. And even I think that it's a shitty fast food place. That it's shitty by fast food standards. It's just, they had really fucking effective advertising back in the day. Their advertising was exceptionally effective. And also, McDonald's is great food for when you absolutely fucking hate yourself. McDonald's is just like top level, I fucking hate myself. Those nightmares from working there. But I mean, what can you expect? Donald Trump also eats his steaks burnt and covered in ketchup. He's having an issue with addiction to processed shit, fast food, along with everything I had going on. I can cook like a champ. I've always been a good cook. Yeah. Left in 2017. But yeah, Donald Trump's also the fucking kind of fucking asshole who eats his steaks burnt and covered in ketchup. Guy has no fucking idea what taste is. Damn near steakhouse every night. Crab, properly cooked and seasoned veg with fresh herbs. Citrus Irish grass-fed butter. Actually, saw a photo the other day of RFK eating a steak that looked like a fucking catcher's mitt. God. What is it with the shittiest people eating their steaks in the shittiest way? You know? Good sausage egg McMuffin, but I don't usually eat breakfast. How do you like your steak cooked? When I get it from a restaurant, I go medium rare. If it's cooked like on a grill at home, rare. I don't think I've ever had I don't think I've ever had a steak cooked above medium. And if I ever had medium, it was because the restaurant overcooked it. If I've ever had a medium steak, it was because the restaurant overcooked it. Rare or mid-rare on every other cut, unless we're talking stew or smoking ribs. Well, sure, like that. Yeah, that's like for very specific types of types of dishes. Like there are circumstances where you are going to cook a cut of meat very very well. Sake above medium. I've had a steak above medium. It's never enjoyable. Just can't have my steak moving at me. Yeah, like I'll accept medium. Yeah. Medium is okay. Well done. Why are you even bothering? If you're going well done, why even bother getting the steak? To crush 1 pound flank beef ribs. Yeah, so like ribs, yeah, you want ribs fucking falling off the bone. You cook ribs until they just fall off the bone. But a steak, yeah. Cook it enough to kill any harmful bacteria that might be in it. Boom, done. 6 to 8 hours over applewood. Yep. Know your shit. I mean, not much. I don't know my shit all that well. Just saying. Bacon you cook? Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah. Never undercook fucking bacon. Never undercook pork. Hey, Grimace. In my late teens, I was taught to eat my steak at medium because my pops used to cook the shit out of our steak. Ugh. Yeah, pork in general, Never undercook. You got to be very careful with pork. Any sort of pork dish. Chicken, too. Unk did take her Tylenol, yes. Yeah, pork and chicken are like two types of meat where, like, yeah, you want to be very thorough. Those two generally better to overcook than undercook with those two. I don't really want to undercook anything. You never really want to undercook anything, but brine your chicken and you'll never overcook again. Didn't know there were other steaks. Thought round steak was the only kind. We were poor. Yeah, fair. The other night when my rice cooker broke, my last rice cooker broke. At one point, I took the lid off. I was like, stirring it around, just seeing if there was any water left, and there was no water left. I was like, no water. I wonder if maybe it was cooked well enough. So I took a bite of it. Yeah, I just grabbed my fork and like just a little bit of rice. There are some foods. There are some foods where you want a nice crunch. Rice is not one of them. Should have replaced that rice cooker had. I know this one felt like it was only like 4. This one felt like I replaced it just like 3 months ago or something. 3-4 months ago. Yeah, it was not pleasant. It was not a good. It was not a good. Not is just bad texture. Anyone need to keep. Also, they didn't really have any last week when I went to the grocery store on Saturday. Last Saturday, none of the green peppers looked particularly good, so I actually did have to get red peppers. So I do have red peppers this week, or did have red peppers for this week. No capes. That's true. I'm a Marvel fan. We don't do capes at Marvel. Marvel doesn't do capes. Very, very small number of characters at Marvel who actually do capes. Moon Knight does cape. Moon Knight wears a cape because he's very much a Batman knockoff. There's a couple Superman knockoffs who wear capes. Hyperion and Sentry, one or two others. I got a red pepper as the title. Would have had to have been Sunday's title. Who else? Doom, I suppose. The dip in the hood. One of my favorite costume designs. Those Doom wear, cloak. Doom wears a cloak. Magneto wears a cape. Magneto. He's a villain. He gets to wear the cape and look badass. Yeah, in general, capes are more associated with DC than Marvel. I don't know how many. Yeah, Superman and Batman both wear capes, but who else at Marvel wears a? Who else at DC wears a cape? Shazam, I suppose. Who's just who's kind of who is enough of a Superman knockoff that DC actually won the lawsuit. List of superheroes who wear capes. True, Thor has a cape. That's true. Martian Manhunter over at DC. Doctor Strange at Marvel. Doctor Fate in DC. Apparently, Catman at DC. Batgirl, and I suppose Batwoman. But I mean, they're just spin offs of Batman. Vision, apparently. Yeah, Vision, that's true. Vision wears a cape. Want to watch the post reacting to the date everything missed ending scene? Good, good. Tasha from Star Trek looks like Dasha. Yeah, it's true. Golden Age Green Lantern wore a cape. Spectre, Hourman, Sandman, the Atom, Dr. Midnight, Huntress, Red Tornado. Justice in the New Warriors, he did. And Quasar, that's true. I forgot about Quasar. Scarlet Witch, off and on. All right, so there are, yeah, Storm, off and on. You know what? There's a mix. Marvel and DC have, Marvel and DC are some, still have somewhat similar numbers of heroes who wear capes. Vulture Man. I mean, there's a Vulture. There's the Vulture. He's a Spider-Man villain. Skin tight bodysuits. Yeah. Yeah, just about all of them wear skin tight bodysuits. More heroes have capes than I realized. Yeah, I mean, part of it is like families, like the Bat family and the Superman family. They all wear capes. Most of them do, or most of them wear capes. Yeah, most of them do have skin tight bodysuits. Part of that comes down to um, just what's easy to draw. Fabric is really hard to draw. So, especially back in the day, artists would basically just draw a nude form and then color it. Or at least, the outline of, they just draw, a body and then color it. That is just easier. But I mean, even today, one long piece of fabric, I can move into, and that I think that's probably part of why capes were a thing early on, back in the golden age of comics. The 30s, 40s, get into the 50s. Yeah, back in like the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I think that is a big part of why capes were very common at that time. Was just because 30s and 40s especially. But yeah, in the golden age, it was just it did add a nice sense of movement. In the way, blocking views or causing them to drain if they fell into the water. Sure, and that's sort of like as comics became more self-aware. That was sort of a big part of why capes stopped being used so much. Stretcher do calisthenics and jeans or cargo pants. Yeah, spandex or spandex-like material. Yeah, there is that as well. You want freedom, ease of movement. And yeah, what The Incredibles was doing was just referencing what people had been saying about capes for 40 years. People were making jokes about capes. Like Marvel was making jokes about capes in like the 60s. There's a Captain America story in the late 70s, shortly after Watergate. Um, there was a Captain America story where he became disillusioned with the U.S. and abandoned his costume and became Nomad, the man without a country. And his first, like came up with like a new costume that was kind of ugly, and he initially had a cape on it. He abandoned it after his first crime fighting attempt in that costume because it tripped him up. A lot of times, if a character has a cape nowadays, there is like a justification for it. Or it's just because the character has had a cape for 70 years. You know, Superman has a cape because Superman has always had a cape. That said, he flies and he's invulnerable. Like, it's easy to justify Superman having a cape. What is he like? How much difficulty is a cape going to give fucking Superman? Thor, same thing. Flies, super strong, super invulnerable. How is a cape going to hinder him? What does he care? For Storm, part of the reason that her cape was always justified because she used it to help her fly. Robin Williams is up for the role as the Joker, but Jack Nicholson beat him out. Yep, I did know that. Jack Nicholson had an advantage. He was already fucking crazy. Packing a full pulse rifle, clips, plasma pistol, energy cells, detonator, full legs, fully bags, and a fucking cape. Hey, Steffi. Yeah, Thor is a god. So yeah, like Storm, her cape was to help her fly. So yeah, justified. But yeah. The fact that capes are inherently impractical means that aside from characters who've had them who are sort of grandfathered in, a few characters who are grandfathered in as cape users, or characters who are who are parodies of characters who are grandfathered in. Yeah, capes have been mostly abandoned. And even with the characters who like are grandfathered in, there's often attempts to justify it. Yeah, Steffi, it sucks. It's a shame. She was great. Like Superman, like Batman can use his cape to glide. You can sort of use it for hiding. Yeah, Catherine O'Hara died just today, Shelley. She died just today. Don't care for celebrities, but she's in pleasure. Yeah, she was a good one. She was always great. Whatever she did, anything she did, she committed and was just phenomenal. That's a shit. Like that's a shitty death. Yeah, like that one's that is one of those deaths. Like God damn, this one sucks. Beetlejuice. Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, Schitt's Creek. I never actually watched Schitt's Creek. Peanut milk has some weird gaping holes in it. Weird gaping holes. Just leaves. Damn, Buttercup. Damn. I think clips are pretty funny, but never watched it. We both had the same basic thought, Buttercup, but yeah, you went with the mom part. I just giggled. I just giggled at the reference of a weird gaping hole. Mentioned the other day that I don't like series. They usually go bad after the second season, but goodness, Schitt's Creek was good throughout. I would imagine. I mean, it was a great cast. Also, Schitt's Creek Canadian because I mean it's got a lot of Canadian stars. It feels like it should be a Canadian show. Yeah, Canadian. Canada? That was your college nickname. Canada actually seems to be pretty good at sitcoms that stay good throughout their runs. Like if a Canadian sitcom is like if a Canadian show is good, it's probably going to always be good. Like Corner Gas stayed good from start to finish. Kids in the Hall stayed good from start to finish. Trailer Park Boys was never Red Green, always great. Trailer Park Boys was never my thing, but it stayed consistent. Like from what I've heard about it, it did stay consistent throughout its run. Like there was never a notable drop off in quality on that one. Like Trailer Park Boys, I haven't watched that in like 5 years. Never heard of Corner Gas or Red Green. Corner Gas is one of the absolute greatest sitcoms ever. Corner Gas, legitimately one of the best sitcoms of all time. Not one of the best Canadian sitcoms. One of the best sitcoms, period, of all time. Red Green was also family went to Canada just to be in the live audience of the Red Green show. Nice. Red Green was more of a sketch comedy. Yeah, Red Green was more of a sketch comedy, but it's like built around, a very specific set of characters. That'd be friend. Whatever. I did say one of. People can decide for themselves what the best sitcom ever is, but Corner Gas is one of the best. Probably top 10. I would honestly rank Corner Gas as one of the top 10 best sitcoms ever. Corner Gas is about the small town in Saskatchewan called Dog River. And mostly dealing with main character, Brent, who runs the gas station. So the main locations that we see in almost every episode, the gas station and the restaurant right next door. There's a diner next door. So there's like Corner Gas, Canadian. No, top 10 ever. Like globally. One of the best Canadian shows of all time. Like Corner Gas is one of the absolute best Canadian shows of all time. But I would say it's one of the top 10 best sitcoms globally of all time. So yeah, the two main locations are the gas station and the connecting and the diner it's connected to. And it's just like this weird cast of characters. And like because it's set in like this small town in the middle of nowhere in Saskatchewan, it's very a lot of like rural humor and just like a lot of Canadian humor. There is a fair amount of Canadian humor in it as well. A lot of weird jokes, a lot of like, just all the characters are really good. Like it is really about the characters and just how strange they are. Walcott's the one in Toronto. Yeah, I'm here for a research day. Great to have a live this awful situation on YouTube. There's clips of it. Ken's Convenience is an Austrian show. Like, you can find clips of Corner Gas on YouTube. Full episodes are better. It's better to watch a full episode. Red Green, the Red Green show was older. That one was like 80s. I guess it describes Canadian humor. I mean, jokes about hockey and curling. And I don't know, just like a lack of cynicism. Even a movie. Yep. And an animated series. There's also an animated series that spun off that came later. I think Canadian, like, Corner Gas is not at all cynical. There's no real cynicism to it, which is really good. It's very sincere. And then Red Green Show. That was like 80s, 90s. It was again about this guy, Red Green. He's a sort of handyman. And like how do I describe it? It sounded like very rural area. Again, very rural area. Middle of nowhere, just like a cabin country, like sort of set up in cabin country kind of thing. Um, and oh, actually 91. I thought it was 80s. So yeah, like basically sketch comedy. Um, yeah, he runs a men's club. So yeah, Red Green runs a men's club in Possum Lake. Sketch comedy, a lot of like trying to do like manly things. Them trying to do the cast trying to do like manly things, but they're all idiots. Cabin country, yeah. Like they're all just kind of stupid. Yeah, just trying to like fix problems, carry out projects, but they use a lot of shortcuts, so things always go bad and end in disaster. And duct tape, yes. Handyman's secret weapon, duct tape. I will say, for people who grew up on the red, like for people who watched the Red Green Show, I'm pretty sure for people who watched the Red Green Show, hearing the word duct tape just provokes this Pavlovian response of handyman's secret weapon. It's just automatic, just this instinctive reaction. Handy, like, hey, can you grab the duct tape? Handyman's secret weapon. And yeah, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice, of course, was his, you know, whenever, like, at the end of every show when he was, like, saying, goodbye to the audience. Remember, keep your stick on the ice. And it was really funny. And again, like I'm pretty sure, like it went a lot longer than I thought. It apparently ran 1991 until 2006. So it ran a lot longer than I thought. Well, it looks like it probably did stay pretty consistent. So yeah, like a Canadian show, if a Canadian show is good, it stays good. That said, there's a fair number of Canadian shows that were not particularly good. And some that were just like so and didn't really go anywhere. I gotta go pee, back in a minute. It's this massive wok out of a satellite dish. Yeah, I think I guess it's just like Canadian shows. Like, if a Canadian show is successful, it's the name of that show where two guys called everyone hosers. Wasn't technically a show. It was a part of SCTV. It was The Great White North with Bob and Doug McKenzie, which was a recurring sketch on SCTV. Which was a Canadian sketch comedy show in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, for Canadian shows, like if a Canadian show works, um, if it's got a successful formula, there seems to be a lot less inclination to mess with that formula compared to American shows. For a lot of American shows, they do once it becomes successful, they kind of mess with the formula. Let's try this, see what happens if we do this instead. Don't know why I thought it was their own show. Yeah. Whereas with Canadian shows, like, well, hey, Lemon, it's like, people are enjoying this, so let's keep doing what they're enjoying. Like for as many seasons as Corner Gas ran, nothing changed. Which, like in small town life, nothing changes. you know? Like, nothing is just, small town life, things just stay the same. Nothing ever changes. So it worked. There was no need to introduce a bunch of changes. Ed and Eddie was a Canadian cartoon. Oh, that one was Canadian? I didn't know. Anyway. We're at Tars. So I'm going to get going. So thanks for coming. And a good night, everybody.